Hey there, so I am coming live to you today to show you one of my favorite hacks to keep dinner really super simple and not cause a huge ruckus and try to keep everybody happy. So I'm doing this based with chicken because most of our pickier eaters will at least eat chicken. So I'm going to show you a couple of different things that you can do to keep this really simple for dinner time, okay? So I think one of the biggest things that people do to make dinner hard is that they think in terms of meals. And what I like to show is a deconstructed meal. And what I mean by that is you want to make the protein with a light seasoning that can go with a variety of different things. And most people don't know that there's actually just about 1 to 2 ingredient difference from going from like Mexican to Italian to Greek to Indian, etc. There's just a couple of ingredients difference. And so when you know that, you can season your meat and kind of have the foundation of your meal ready and then just tweak it a little bit. So I'm going to show you a little bit about how to do that today. So first, my favorite thing is that we often always forget to take the meat out. So this meat is actually still a little frozen. So you just, I just froze it to the board. So you just want to get a pretty good knife, and you want to, the sharper your knife, the better. And you're just going to cut your chicken into chunks, okay? It doesn't have to be pretty. We're not trying to make it pretty. We're just trying to feed the people, right? So, and you can make it pretty later if you want to. So we're going to get all this chopped up. You can see it's frozen because I'm having to put a little weight behind it. But for those of you who are a little squeamish about cutting chicken, cutting it frozen is wonderful because you get a workout and you also don't have that slimy texture. You can see it's kind of all together, okay? Okay, so if you're not using like a pressure cooker or something like that, this is a really good way to get around doing that. So I'm actually going to use the air fryer today, but I'm also going to show you a couple other tips. Had to really put my weight behind that one. Okay, and then I would really be struggling if this knife was not sharp, guys, just so you know. Okay, so here we go. I got the hard part done, and we're just going. And you can see I'm just doing like a rough chop. Like I'm not making it super great. So here's what's great about this. You'll be able to chop it up in the way that you want it for whatever meal you're going to do. So if you're going to do tacos, you can shred it. If somebody's going to have it over salad, if you're going to make like a bowl, like a rice bowl, you can do that. So I'm going to show you a couple of different things that you can do. Okay, so let me wash my hands real quick. I'm going to step out of the camera for just a second. All right, so we've got this all made. So here is the secret I'm going to show you. So one of my favorite rubs that we carry, and you can do a couple of different things actually, but one of my favorite rubs that we carry is called the bell pepper herb rub. Yeah. So a lot of times people think that this is really spicy. It's not, because it's bell pepper. Now here's what's great. Bell pepper is used in lots of different cooking. It's used in the Greek cooking, it's used in Italian cooking, it's used in Mexican cooking. So using something like this that doesn't have sugar or any extra salt or anything like that is really amazing because it's going to give a little bit of flavor without you having to add those extra vegetables. And it's also going to be a nice foundation for whatever you turn this chicken into. And you can kind of create kind of a buffet situation. So another option is to use our seasoning salt. So this contains different salt and spices, including celery, garlic powder, onion powder, paprika, all of the main types of bases that you typically will have in any type of cooking, from American, Mexican, Italian, etc. So this is a really good option too if you want to do that. Now, my family eats a lot of Mexican food. Like, it's probably one of our favorites. And so I have fallen in love with this chili lime rub recently. So that's how I'm going to do these today. So I'm going to do them in the air fryer. So I'm going to scoot you guys over and hopefully you won't tip over. Here you go. Okay. So you can see we like Mexican because there's my Mateo salsa. And if y'all have not tried that, that's amazing. All right. So I have my racks out here, and I'm actually going to take my kitchen spritzer and I'm just going to give it a few pumps, and I'm just going to spray these really good. Okay. And then I'm going to slide it in there just to get it out of my way. I'm going to spray this really good. And I'm spraying on my counter because I have to wipe it off after this, but you can always spray over your sink if you want to minimize your mess. So I'm always about minimizing the mess because I actually hate to clean. It's one of my least favorite things to do. So, okay, so I'm going to take this back out. And actually, let me get... I use these a lot too, these flexible cutting mats, to kind of prep on because they're really easy. So I'm actually going to take the chicken and I am going to put it all on this rack. Now remember, some of these are still frozen, right? Now here's what's great. They're going to come out really nice and juicy because the extra water that you have in here is actually going to allow them to not overcook, especially in the air fryer. Now, if I was doing this on the grill pan, which is the other way I'm going to show you how to do this, I would let it completely thaw out. But at this size, it'll thaw a lot faster. So that's another way to get things to thaw faster. You never really want to do it in the microwave or keep it in hot water or anything because you'll actually start to cook the meat. Okay? So I'm going to take the air fryer. I'm going to wash my hands again. So I kind of just touch the plug. Okay. So I'm going to put the plug it in. Okay. So I'm going to plug the air fryer in and I'm actually going to do, let me turn it this way a little bit so you can see. So I'm actually going to turn it on. Oh, I forgot the best part. The seasoning. I knew I was forgetting something. So I'm just going to take this chili lime rub and I'm just going to sprinkle it on top. And I'm going to worry about turning this at the halfway mark. See? Just sprinkle it with that. So chili lime rub. And I need to order more of this, clearly. Chili lime rub. Okay. I'll shove that in there. And then I am going to set it for 10 minutes. And the reason why I'm going to do it for 10 minutes is because I want to check it in 10 minutes and see if it's done. Some of the pieces that are more frozen are probably not going to be done, but most of them probably will be. So I'm actually going to turn it to air fry. You guys can't see that. Okay. So I'm going to switch it to air fry and then I'm going to twist it. Oops, sorry. Now I'm going to air fry. Push the button in, turn it back to 10 minutes. Now here's the cool thing about our air fryer. It's actually going to beep at me at halfway through and it's going to let me know that I need to rotate the trays. So I have my handy dandy oven mitt gloves right here in this drawer. And when it beeps at me, all I'm going to do is I'm going to take the trays out. I'm going to flip the meat over and then also rotate the trays. After I flip the meat over, I'm going to sprinkle it again with the chili lime rub just to make it easy. So what my kids will eat for lunch and for dinner today is all those things I just said. So they'll take this chicken and I'll dice it up a little bit smaller so that it'll just be a little bit. We'll heat up a can of black beans and then I'll put on a pot of rice and then they can have a black bean and chicken bowl with a little salsa if they want to and some shredded cheese. If they don't want it that way, they can do it in tacos because I have tortillas available and, shredded and cheese that they can shred and then the beans as well. If they want it just on a plate, they could do it on a salad where they just have a bed of greens, which I have already chopped up in the fridge. They can heat up a can of black beans and then do it that way. Sometimes I have beans that are already prepped from dry and from the quick cooker, but a lot of times I use canned because this is real life. So here is the other thing that I use a lot too for prepping things. And then I will try to put a couple things together in some thick pictures later today so that you guys can see it because it's hard to show you everything all at once. So this is the double burner grill pan. So you can see it's really nice and big, really fabulous. I don't always use the presses. The presses are what's really heavy. This is cast iron, but the pan is our nonstick cookware. So this will actually hold about between 4 and 6 pounds of chicken, depending on how big the chicken is. So what I typically do with this is I lay it on the grill, on the stovetop, and this can be used on any stovetop except induction. If you have induction, you can buy those induction plates and put on your induction stove, and then it will work on your induction stove, but you have to have those transfer magnetic plates in order for it to work. But I heat this to medium high. I heat it for about 7 to 10 minutes. I go ahead and I slice my chicken, and I usually slice the breast in half. The thinner your chicken is going on the grill, the better it's going to cook and the easier it's going to cook. You're going to be able to do it really fast. Once the grill pan is hot, after heating on medium-high heat for about 7 to 8 minutes, then you're gonna put your chicken on there, sprinkle your seasoning on there, and then you're gonna have a whole thing of chicken ready to go. Now, you're gonna turn that chicken into like 5 or 6 different recipes. The chicken you cook on Sunday night or Sunday, you're gonna take 2 of those breasts and make it into, chicken salad, Mexican chicken salad if you want. For Monday night, you can take the chicken, and have Italian night where you can like sprinkle it with a little Parmesan, a little tomato sauce, add a slice of provolone cheese, make up some pasta on the stove, add a little tomato sauce to that, and you have chicken Parmesan, okay? Because you don't have to bread it to make it chicken Parmesan. And all you're doing is reheating the chicken from the previous night. Then on Tuesday, you can turn it into tacos, like I said. And here's what's interesting, guys. If you do just go ahead and do your meat at the beginning of the week and you chop it up into smaller portions through the week, you will be amazed at how less your kids and your family will eat. It's really, really interesting. When you just make it smaller batches and kind of sprinkle it on the top, you guys will actually eat a lot less. So I hope this little tutorial helps just a little bit. I will be posting some more pictures and more information in the party today, but I wanted to at least show you that little hack. And I hope you guys have a great day.